Good morning, students. Today we'll learn the concepts of simple topics, principle of conservation of energy, and calculation of power, and important topic collisions. What is meant by the principle of conservation energy? In a simple way, energy cannot be destroyed, but cannot be destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another form. If we calculate all the energy, that remains constant. Suppose work done by the conservative forces, work done by the conservative forces, the total energy remains constant. Work done by the non-conservative forces like friction, non-conservative forces. Now what happens, that energy can be converted, gets transformed into other forms like heat, light, and sound. So what we can conclude, energy may be transformed from one form to another form, but the total energy of an isolated system remains constant. It neither be created nor be destroyed. Right? Next means, suppose if for a system total energy is equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy, if you calculate it, the total is equals to a constant. Right? Now the concept of conservation and transformation of energy into various forms, like it links various branches of physics, chemistry, or life sciences. It is providing unifying or combining element of or scientific persons. Right? Now let's see that what is meant by power. Simple, what is meant by power? Suppose if a person is a fit, healthy enough, he steps into 4 floors. But now next step we'll see how fast he steps up into a 4 floors. Power is linked to time and work. So how fast the work can be done, that gives a power. The rate of doing work is called as power. Rate of doing work is called as power, or rate at which the work done is also called as power. So power is equals to dw by dt. What is meant by average power? What is meant by average power? Average power is a ratio of work by time. Ratio of work by time. Now simply, power is a scalar quantity and power is equal to dw, d by dt of w. Right? Power is equal to d by dt of 4. Work is equal to f dot ds, f into ds. Now so power is equal to d by dt is taking common, and f is outside, ds by dt. Power is equal to ds by dt, which is called as velocity. It is a dot product of two vectors called as f, velocity, force vector. So units of power, so this is joule and time second, joule per second. Another one which is called as watt is the unit of power, after the name of scientist called as James Watt, who is the innovator of the steam engine. After his name, the power units are taken as watts, right? And the most common in our houses, we see that we will have 1 HP motor, 2 HP motor, and automobiles also. The automobile engines power is measured with horse powers. So 1 horsepower is equals to 746 watts. It's not 1000, it is a 746 watts. Suppose if we go to an electrical shop and we'll take 100 watts bulb, 100 watts bulb and 100 watts bulb, and we connect it power and spend the power 100 watts for 10 hours, we'll try to calculate how much energy can be spent. So 100 into 10 watt hour. So 100 into 10, which is equal to 1000, 1000 watt hour. So this is 1 kilowatt hour. So if we take a bulb of 100 watts and connect it to the power for 10 hours, then we will try to calculate energy, that is 1 kilowatt hour. So 1 kilowatt hour is not the unit of power, which is a unit of energy, which is unit of energy. Now we will calculate in an elaborated way. 1 kilowatt hour, 1000 watt, 60 minute, 1000 watt, 60 into 60 second, 1000 into 3600 watt into second. So 3.6 into 10 power 6 watt into second. 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 3.6 into 10 power 6 watt into second. So watt into second, this is called simply joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is unit of energy. It's not the power, which is equivalent to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. Now the important concept and problems which are involved in this is collisions. In the last chapters and classes you learned about momentum. That momentum is, it's a mass of and velocity product. Momentum is a vector. When the two bodies are collided, means strike together, what happens? So when they are with initial velocities, after striking it, their velocities are changed. So momentums are changed. So how the momentum can be conserved? How the energy can be conserved? If only momentum conserved, what we call, if momentum and kinetic energy both are conserved when they are in motion before collision and after collision, how do we assume and how do we categorize? Let's see in a simple way. So collision, which is conservation of momentum, linear momentum, which is, because we are doing one dimensional and two dimensional only, so we will consider linear momentum. Suppose most probably you see billiard games, caroms, marbles. You see that most probably the momentum conservation you it can be applied. Suppose if body of mass m1 and if body of mass m2 moving with velocity u1 moving with velocity u2, when they strike together you cannot expect the velocity to be u1, it can be v1, and you cannot expect the velocity can be u2, it can be v2. However, masses cannot be changed. So the momentum, this suppose this is collision part, like before collision and after collision, means before accident and after accident, let's say simple. m1 like a body having individual linear momentum m1 u1, m2 is a body having linear momentum m2 u2, individually they are moving. After accident or collision, what happens, the velocity is changing from u1 to v1, now m1 v1, and this is m2 and v2. This is completely set as a system. Now this is a system. Now the total linear momentum of the system m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Here the system m1 and m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is before collision, this is after collision. Now before collision the total momentum of the system, after collision the total moment of the system are equal. Now what happens, the momentum, linear momentum said to be conserved. Right. Striking of two bodies are more than bodies. Striking of two bodies as their redistribution of linear momenta takes place. Linear momenta takes place. Here we categorize based on their conservation. Inelastic collision, inelastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision, elastic collision. So these are the three major categories: inelastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision, and elastic collision. One point we remember here is that for the elastic collision, linear momentum and as well as kinetic energy, linear momentum and kinetic energy of the system remains conserved. Means the kinetic energy of the system before collision and after collision remains conserved. Suppose the initial kinetic energy of the system is of m1 u1 square plus of m2 u2 square is equal to, after the collision Now of m1 v1 square plus of m2 v2 square. This is the energy cannot be violated, cannot be destroyed, but the total system before collision and after collision remains same. Let's say the initial kinetic energy 10 joules and this is 90 joules. Now it might be redistributed as like 30 joules plus 70 joules. So what happens total before it is 100 joules and after it is 100 joules. It's like that the energy can be conserved for the elastic collision and as well as linear momentum. When you want to say a collision, that must be conserved with a linear momentum, and other one is a choice that may be a conserved of kinetic energy, may not be a conservation of kinetic energy. If both are conserved, it can be called as elastic collision. Only the linear momentum is conserved, this is a first inelastic collision. Now let's see what is meant by perfectly inelastic collision and perfectly elastic collision. Now the simple diagrammatic representation. Possibly m1 is the body moving with u1 velocity, m2 is the mass of the body moving with u2 velocity, and of course both are crushed together. Now this is a linear. Now you can think of this is a fly off m1 with velocity v1, and this is m2 with velocity v2. Now this is might be making an angle theta 1 and theta 2. This is simply a two-dimensional collision. Suppose m1 u1 velocity, m2 let us say u2 is equal to 0, which is at rest. Now after collision both are m1 and as well as m2 are affixed together, crashed and fixed together. Both are moving with velocity v, which is called as a common velocity. Suppose a bicycle is there, a lorry is there, and a lorry is crushed with a bicycle. What happens? Bicycle might be affixed to lorry, and both bicycle and lorry are moving with the same velocity, common velocity. This illustration or this is called as a perfectly inelastic collision. Perfectly inelastic collision. What is the expression of common velocity and how it can be? m1 u1 is the initial velocity, u1 is initial momentum plus m2 and u2. Now m1 plus m2 is a combined as a common system with velocity v. What is a common velocity here? m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2, which is common velocity. Suppose here if u2 is equal to 0, second body is at rest, then substitute 0 here. The common velocity is equals to m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. This is a common velocity, right? Now we try to calculate loss in kinetic energy, because loss is there because it is inelastic collision. You cannot expect the kinetic energy before and after collision are same. Here if theta 1 is equal to 0, the body is moving like in the, and theta 2 is equal to 0 degrees, then what happens? m1 and m2, and after collision m1 and m2 are in the same line. If it is perfectly inelastic collision, what happens? How do you write it as? Now this is m1 and m2 is which is at rest, u2 is equal to 0. Then what happens? m1 and m2 are mixed together, moving within a same line with common velocity. Right? Now final velocity we have already derived it, m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. Change in kinetic energy. How to calculate change in kinetic energy? The initial energy, which is called as of m1 u1 square minus, of course u2 is equal to 0. The initial kinetic energy of the second body is 0 minus sec of m1 plus m2 into common velocity. We will write it as v square. We will write it as square. Now what you write and how do we calculate it? Just I am substituting the v value over here. Delta k is equal to of m1 u1 square minus of m1 plus m2. Then what we write? V square m1 u1 by m1 plus m2 whole square. So this is simple. Now delta k is equals to of m1 u1 square. Now we will take it as common over here, cancel it. Then how do we write it? Of m1 square u1 square by m1 plus m2. I'll take of m1 u1 square common, 1 minus m1 by m1 plus m2. So delta k is equals to, now what do you write? One m1 cancel, of m1 u1 square, now m2 by m1 plus m2. This is a loss in the kinetic energy in the perfectly inelastic collision. Whereas in the elastic collision, no loss is there because initial kinetic energy of the system, final kinetic energy of the system remains constant. Let's see the topics one by one slowly. We will calculate the final velocities before and after the collision in the elastic collision in the next class. Thank you.